am trying to enjoy a day off, wait for this Barnes & Noble to open, and I get an email. Don't know this person. They are a part of the ExJw community, supposedly, allegedly. And they send me an email detailing the circulation of some letter in Texas that is allegedly written by a PMO, and he wanted me to comment on the letter. It was just weird timing when I got this email. Okay, I'm gonna just read the email. By the way, what's up, baby? It's your girl, Coach D Free. I get a lot of emails. Well, not a lot. I don't want to sound like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, I just get so many emails. No, it's not that many emails. I get a few emails every now and then. I don't be knowing what these folks be up to, so I can't vouch for nobody. I'm gonna just read what was sent to me, okay? JWs hate this letter because it accurately expresses current Watchtower Society teachings they have embraced as the truth in language they commonly use in private conversations and at their kingdom halls, but would never express so candidly to others. This letter was allegedly written by an awakened PMO JW and has been mailed to hundreds of church pastors and businesses throughout Texas and beyond. It has been translated into several languages and circulated throughout various communities and has been read by at least 5, and he capitalized 5, ExJw YouTubers on their respective channels. The phone numbers in the letter are to Watchtower officials in Warwick, Walk Hill, and Patterson, so the JW governing body is well aware that this letter has gone viral. Ooh. Uh-oh, Tony. They coming for you, Tony. Hey, by the way, fatso, where is my check? You see, I be too nice. I know what it is. Let me continue on with the email. I called all 3 numbers and spoke. This is the composer of the email speaking. I called all 3 numbers and spoke to an elder at each office, and I have shared the letter with numerous JW elders in my community, and they all confirmed that it accurately expresses current Watchtower teachings. This letter has helped awaken sincere JWs who received a copy in the mail by helping them to see how ridiculous Watchtower teachings sound when expressed in a letter. And then he gives me a link to the letter, which I'm going to read. I'm almost done. And then this is how he closes out. He said, "Would Coach D Free consider being the 6th," he capitalized 6th, YouTube channel to read this letter on your channel, helping it to reach an even wider audience? In any event, I wish you well. Would y'all like me to read the letter? Say, yeah, Coach, read the letter. I don't know all the legal jargon. I don't know none of these people. I am not vouching for them. I'm not saying this letter is true. I'm not saying it was written by a PMO. I'm not saying the guy that's sending me is even a guy. It might be a robot. Might be trying to tie me up in some litigation about saying some shit about Watchtower. I'm just going to read a letter that I got in the email, minding my business, and I'm going to give my commentary, and I want to see if that is in fact what Jehovah's Witnesses believe. And please keep in mind, technically, I am still a witness. Man, my eyes so droop because I'm just so tired. It's not for any other reason. Dear neighbor, since the end of the world as we know it is dangerously near, we are writing you to tell you the things your minister has not told you, but which Jehovah's Witnesses want you to know. Jesus Christ, as Michael the Archangel, returned invisibly in the year 1914, the start of the last days, and proceeded to judge all Christian religions. In 1919, Jesus personally selected the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, aka Jehovah's Witnesses, as God's Spirit-directed organization to preach the good news of God's kingdom before God destroys all human governments and false religion in the approaching battle of Armageddon. Matthew 24:14. Therefore, it is imperative that everyone who wishes to avoid destruction by Jehovah at Armageddon become a Jehovah's Witness as soon as possible. Admittedly, the Watchtower previously claimed that Armageddon would definitely occur in 1914, then again in 1925. Then it was strongly suggested that it would occur in 1975, when Watchtower officials coined the phrase, "stay alive till 75." But those were just the predictions of imperfect men. This time, however, the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses is really sure. So, do not hesitate any longer. Do not make the common mistake of reading your Bible without the aid of Watchtower publications, because you might conclude that Jehovah's Witnesses are wrong. The governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses is Christ's faithful and discreet slave, and only the governing body can accurately interpret the Bible. So forget everything your minister has told you, because all religions except for Jehovah's Witnesses are false religion, and their ministers are actually ministers of Satan who has blinded their eyes. They may preach that Jesus is the mediator between God and men, but they have not told you that Jesus is only the mediator for the 144,000 Christians who are spirit anointed to go to heaven. True, Jesus said that no one comes to the Father except through him, but the only way to Jesus is through the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses, the faithful and discreet slave. Oh my God, I need a drink. Let's continue. Only 144,000 Christians were given the hope of going to heaven with Jesus. All other Christians who survive Armageddon will enjoy everlasting life on a cleansed paradise earth. Only a small number of those 144,000 spirit-anointed Christians remains on earth today, and all of those are Jehovah's Witnesses. They alone should partake of the bread and wine when commemorating the annual Lord's evening meal. Jehovah's Witnesses believe it is a sin to accept life-saving blood transfusions because the Bible plainly tells Christians to abstain from blood. Admittedly, many scholars say that the only biblical prohibition regarding blood was against eating the blood of animals killed for food, but those scholars are wrong, because the faithful and discreet slave says so. Thousands of Jehovah's Witness men, women, and children have died for refusing life-saving blood transfusions because only the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses can determine what is or is not a matter of conscience, because they speak for Jehovah himself. And according to the Watchtower, one must be prepared to obey the governing body or one's local elders, even if doing so makes no sense from a strategic or human standpoint. If one dies needlessly by doing so, then there is always the resurrection hope for those who die for obeying the governing body. Damn. I mean, so far this is absolutely correct. Woo, we almost finished, y'all. People who leave their family's religion and become a Jehovah's Witness are often disowned and shunned by their families. Such persecution is to be expected because Jesus said he came to cause such divisions among families. However, when Jehovah's Witnesses ostracize, cut off, and shun family members who leave their religion for conscientious reasons, such as unscriptural Watchtower teachings and practices, it is out of love to help the straying one return to Jehovah. Tearing families apart out of love is encouraged by the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses. Bro, I don't know why putting it in this format it is different, or maybe, you know, for some of us who've been away for a while and we haven't, what are our new beliefs now? Because these were our old ones. Let me finish it. Don't be distracted by all the lawsuits and negative publicity against Jehovah's Witnesses for failing to report the crimes of pedophile elders, ministerial servants, and pioneers, missionaries within their congregations, which crimes were never reported to civil authorities but were kept hidden in a secret Watchtower database. Jehovah's wait, that is so fucking weird, bro. Watchtower does have a secret database. They have a secret database of all of our information. See, that's one of the differentiating marks between a former baptized Jehovah's Witness and those of y'all that weren't. Let's finish up with this letter. Jehovah's Witnesses are in the world, but they are not of the world. As Jehovah's representatives, we have the right to disobey laws which they deem to be in conflict with Jehovah's laws. Like the first century Christians, Jehovah's Witnesses must obey Jehovah as ruler rather than men. So, it is okay for Jehovah's Witnesses to withhold the truth for the purpose of misleading enemies of Jehovah, even if they do so in courts of law after sworn to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Just like that little porky bastard did. That's not what y'all said. Y'all said y'all was the only ones and everybody else is going to be destroyed. Y'all taught us that shit as children. That we had to listen to y'all. That we even should listen to the governing body over our own damn parents. Not your parents, not your teachers, not the government. When you one of Jehovah's Witnesses, the governing body come before all of y'all. Them Jehovah's Witnesses is gonna be the governing body. That is their God. That is who they worship. This shit is crazy. Let me finish this. Before visiting a Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses, be advised that Jehovah's Witnesses are well-groomed and modestly dressed. Their female-approved associates wear minimal makeup and jewelry and choose dresses that show no cleavage and with hemlines below the knee. The male-approved associates refrain from wearing beards and tight pants which were designed by homosexuals, according to the faithful and discreet slave. Visitors are encouraged to adhere to these guidelines in order to fit in and to avoid receiving judgmental stares from others and counseling. For comments or questions, please contact Jehovah's Witnesses at, and then he gives 3 numbers. I'm not calling that number, and I'm not telling you to call that number. I'm not telling you not to call that number. I'm not calling those numbers. So that's the letter. That letter is 100% correct. Those are Jehovah's Witness teachings, and we was taught that and much worse as children. That is abuse. This world is ours for the taking. This world belongs to us. Watchtower made it seem like we just here, and our only reason to be here is just to obey them with some imaginary God that we ain't never seen and can never really talk to. We got to go through them, and they go through Jesus, and only Jesus go through them. Preyed on the hopeless and the helpless. They twisted them scriptures up like that, playing on people's emotion, and created a whole fucking false demonic ass religion that we pledged to, and we didn't even know what the hell we were pledging to. And a lot of us have been cursed because of fucking Watchtower. Watchtower is a curse. It is witchcraft. Watchtower ain't nothing but, it's full of witches. Government, they are the government, but damn, they worse. At least the government encouraged you to get money. I would have been better off being a fucking Republican than being a Jehovah's Witness. That is some cult brainwashing stuff. That's some weird ass beliefs too. Aren't you glad you left? Aren't you glad you stopped forcing yourself to accept these ridiculous teachings? They're ridiculous. You should be proud of yourself, ExJw. Straight up. All cult survivors, yo, we were really in the claws of witches and warlocks that was casting spells on us since we were kids. For a lot of us, I know for me, since I was a child. They've been holding on to our whole life this whole time, and they've been lying the whole time, holding us back, having us feeling bad about ourselves, confused about the world, totally fucking unprepared for the real world. That's how they make sure your ass stay in there, because you don't know what the fuck to do when you leave that Kingdom Hall. This shit is big and it is scary. I just be wanting to run back to Jehovah arms sometimes, bitch. I don't care if he is imaginary. This shit ridiculous. Let me make sure I'm still recording. I be losing track of time. Yeah, I'm still recording, but I'm gonna start it back over.